This is the mine of Ansen and Benoon in the beginning, and that's me who was standing there. The photograph was my professor Strunz. Strunz was a professor of mineralogy, very, very famous in Germany. And they had that project for looking for certain occurrences in Madagascar. I knew him. I said, "Can you look also at my mine?" And he went with me there, and I said, "Strunz, I have not studied geology, I have not studied mineralogy, but can you teach me, in simple words, a little bit of these things?" And I traveled, and then he said yes, and we traveled together to Brazil, we traveled together to Mozambique, Namibia, and there, and he was teaching me what he saw. That was a little bit this background. I never was in a university. He just was explaining me. He said, "This amethyst is inside here because it was this and this and this." And he made his, of course, he made his own, he took out his own samples, which I examined in Berlin. The result was he came once with an order from the German government. They were looking for the deposits which a friend left in Madagascar where they were digging for uran. And there I helped him and helped my government. I didn't charge any cent for my government, for my Germans. And we brought the samples all to my office in Madagascar. And in these samples, there was a new discovery. And you find in every book, even in Dana's textbook, in every book in the world, in any kind of language of mineralogy, my name. They named a very rare uranium mineral after my name, Petsch. That's me. There's nobody here. And because we discovered it, this was my professor. And then he said, "What do you think, the university, Mr. Petsch, you helped us so much. We have discovered in this what you sent us, a new mineral, we call it, can we call it after your name?" I said, "If I don't have to pay it, no." Then it was approved by, at that time already it had to be approved by the American geologist. There's an institution in America. I have the story, by the way, if you want, I have it written. The American church approved it, that's a new mineral, and approved the name Petsch. So I appear, any book you buy after 1980, which is a real mineralogical book, you find my name, Petsch. Petsch is me, Eckehard, bloody Eckehard. It is the old Greek word for stone. The stone of Eckehard Petsch. Tonight I can bring you the article about it. I have it somewhere in German, if you can see it. Petsch. I am the only one here in the area after him was named a mineral. And you will not believe it or not, I got letters from everywhere, even from the Russians I got letters at that time. "Dear colleague," I'm not a colleague, I'm not studied, you see. "Dear colleague, thank you very much, and could you tell us," because it's uranium. Uranium contains. And then I became, about 2 years back, a letter from another university. "We discovered your mineral now in Germany." They have a feldspar mine in the south of Germany where they suddenly discovered my mineral, you see. So, but it exists, it's my name, it's registered eternally for them and everywhere. Petsch. That's another story. This thing, I have to say you, once this Goyal, this lady who wrote this, she heard my story and she wrote a story about my story. I never saw her book, I never saw nothing. Later on I said to her, I don't want anymore. I said, "I give you all my information." And the first article she sent to me, I said, "It's wonderful." It was a lie, it was nothing, you see. But if you want to hear the story, I can tell you. And you find here, the story was like this. The discovery was in that book, Family Leandra, breakfast in the morning. She says she's the daughter from the old Leon Kraft, who died, was already dead. And then we went into mining this tourmaline, which later on was called Liddycoat. And I'm proud, it's good. Liddycoat is a good, solid name. And with his name, the whole world made money, because who would buy a Petsch tourmaline? Liddycoat is something. You see, the Americans made so much advertising with Liddycoat that at the end, they valued enormously this product. Thank you. So I went into this mine, and then we started to, the family, my family was sitting together. We invested at that time about 1 million Deutschmark. At that time, I don't know how much dollars it was, whatever it was. And I bought, for this mine, the machinery, bulldozers. I bought front-end loaders. I bought many things, compressors and everything, which I bought in Germany here second-hand, very well. I bought Unimog, Mercedes-Benz lorries. Everything we brought there to the mine, and we had 200 people, and we started to mine regularly. My permanent geologist was Ertebis, the Frenchman Ertebis. You write, I can spell it to you in French, H-E-U-R-T-E, T-E, the E was right, Ertebis, and then B like Bertha, I, Z like zebra, E like England. My geologist permanent, he stayed at the mine, of course well paid. We started making huts for the people, they could live there. We made, what you don't see, a little farm. We planted our own vegetables, our own rice, our own things because it was about 200, almost 200 kilometers away from the last city, you see, which was Antsirabe. And we started with 200 people mining it semi-mechanically. I would say we cleaned the surfaces, and then we came to the main outcrop, and there we found the tourmalines. And this was done very well. People liked me because I was paying well, and at that time nobody stole because they did not even know what they take out of the earth. This kind of like caillou, this kind of stones, you see. And then I brought them to Germany, and I marketed them in Germany. Two things we did. Stones which were broken, we hammered, and we mostly marketed the red stones. I found sometimes red tourmalines, 80 centimeters high, 32 centimeters circumference, red. And at that time, look, I was not at that time, I was not enthusiastic about mineral specimen. I just hammered them. Can you imagine? My friend Gerhard Becker, who knew much more than me, and we were neighbors, said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Gerhard, what shall I do? Nobody wants them." Like, nobody wanted them. So we hammered them. We hammered them, and we made, over almost 20 years, we were selling hammered stones, especially rubellites, from this mine. And then suddenly I started waking up, and we made slices, or I sold them in rough to, the last rough I sold last year to make big pieces like this. The biggest piece for making slices perfectly, I sold 5 years back. And so I sold slowly to the market price. And now, after my time, in Madagascar, they became a socialistic government. That was already late 70s, 79, 80. I had to go. They called me exploitateur, imperialistic exploiter, and my people were so, I had to go. And then after a certain time, other people took over 3, 4 times. Now it is, I think it's in the hands of the Italian gentleman who works in Milano. So Pezzotta, yes. And the Malgache, it was very easy. The Malgache one day, after I had to go, they came here from the embassy, and they told me, said, "Mr. Petsch, you have all this property, and so we will take from you." And I gave them everything for the famous price of $1 American. So you keep it. This I have learned in America. You have made your money, it has done your service, forget it. What should I personally fight with them for everything? 10 years later, they came to me again. We give you back everything if you come back and help us. I said, look, I come back as a buyer. I stay in a very good hotel. I don't go in the bush. You make yourself. Please, it's your country. That was the end of the story. And then Pezzota and before other ones, they exploited this mine. They found all the stones, not like that. They sold the stones, but the biggest discovery I made, and it was discovered after I was with Mrs. Leandra in this tent, and I show you the place, and it was raining, a thunderstorm, you don't believe, and then the termines were there. I still have also pictures, you see, in my place.